Hi everyone. In the previous video I explained you the different types of double entry bookkeeping formats and I ended it with the carriage inwards and outwards. So our new topic for today is trial balance. Now trial balance is basically a list of balances which have been occurred at the end of the at the end of the financial year of each account. So every type of account has a different type of balance in the trial balance. Now let me show you how the trial balance looks like. The format for trial balance is like this. Slightly similar to the double entry, but it is nothing related to the entries of the double entry. Only the balances of the entries of the double entry is given here. So the format is like this. Let's see. Alright, so the format goes like this. Detail, amount. There is no date as this is the balance and it will obviously be at the end of the year. So there is no need to give a date. Now in this trial balance, there are lots of things to be included, such as machineries or any trade payables. But what I'm going to do is I've categorized them and I'm going to write the generalized entry for them, as I did for double entry in the earlier video. Now in the trial balance, the first thing that I'm going to tell you about is assets. Now assets include both non-current and the current assets. So for an example of asset which will be given to you could be inventory, or the non-current asset, one more example I can give you is machinery. Over here, non-current assets and current assets are not treated differently. They are treated as one single total asset, and now each type of asset has to be written differently. But you're not going to write this asset word at all. You're just going to write these entries. I'm just doing this to explain you. When you're actually preparing a trial balance, you're not going to write this asset, you're going to write inventory differently, machinery differently. For now, I'm just going to write assets over here. So whatever the assets are, the amount of these balances of these accounts is going to come on the debit side over here. So we don't have to write this assets, we just write inventory, debit side, machinery, debit side. The next type of entry which comes on the debit side, I'm just going to list them down so now you will know. So for example, assets, I told you what type of assets will be there. Okay, so assets will come on the debit side. The next type of entry purchases will come on the debit side because it's got a debit balance. All the assets which I'm listing on the debit side means they've got a debit balance at the end of the year. The expenses will come on the debit side. Drawings will come on the debit side. And sales return finally will come on the debit side. Okay, so I don't have much space over here, but you could sure make some. Let me just write everything down again and show it to you properly. No, much more better format. Yeah, that seems better. So on the debit side, as I said, assets, they'll come on the debit side over here. Then comes purchases. Even they come on the debit side. Expenses on the debit side. Drawings, even they come on the debit side. And lastly, sales return. On the debit side again. Now the entries which come on the credit side are liabilities. So I'm just going to make a line over here. You don't have to make a line. You write all of them continuously. I'm going to write liabilities on the credit side. Then sales. Any type of income. The balance of the capital account. And finally, purchase returns. So these are generalized types of balances which come in the trial balance. Now take a look at this carefully, because sorry, you didn't see the purchase return. The purchase return comes over here. Now the last thing for today which I'm going to teach you is the errors which occur in a trial balance which does not affect the trial balance at all. Now I'm going to erase this thing. I hope you copied that. Okay, I'm going to quickly teach you about these errors, and let's start quickly. Sorry, just these markers. Okay, I'm going to quickly teach you about these errors. So there are basically 6 types of errors. Error of omission, which means that there has been no entry made in the trial balance. These errors do not affect the trial balance. So these errors do not affect the trial balance, and the error of omission means no entry made at all in the trial balance. The error of commission, I'm not going to write the whole thing, I'm just going to explain it now. The error of commission means that correct entry but in the wrong account of the same ledger. So correct entry, wrong account, but the same ledger. Error of principal. It usually occurs when there is a correct entry, but there is a correct amount also, but it's in the wrong type of account. The next type of error which I'm going to tell you about is the compensating error. The compensating error occurs when 2 or more errors cancel out each other, and The second last error which I'm going to tell you about is error of original entry, where there is an amount incorrectly written. And the last error which I'm going to tell you about is complete reversal. As the name suggests, it is when there is a correct amount. I'm going to put a mark over here. How you can see this because there's still a little bit over here. And then there's the correct account, but there's wrong side of each account. Both the accounts there's wrong side. Wrong side of each account. I hope you can see this, and the next time we meet I'm gonna explain the double entry bookkeeping format part 2. Bye bye.